A few days before Memorial Day. I'm the chairman. By the way, I need to deliver a document to the Springfield branch. Just as I reached the door, I saw my college classmate Evelyn surrounded by a lot of people. Someone next to her said enviously, "I heard that Daniel is taking you back to your hometown for tomb sweeping on Memorial Day. This is officially meeting the parents." That's right. Tomorrow night is the company's year-end party. Daniel plans to take you with him. It seems your position with Evelyn is quite secure. I ignored it. I walked into the office with my head down, but Evelyn suddenly called out to me, "Sophia, I sent you a wedding invitation this morning. Why didn't you reply?" Oh, suddenly remembered. The hotel I booked is the Jihao. Entry requires a capital verification of 1 million. You might not meet the requirements. She gently tapped my shoulder and said with a smile, "How about this? I'll ask my fiancé to greet your leader. I'll help you get a spot for tomorrow night's headquarters banquet. Consider this an early chance to share my joy," I said, looking down. "I have something to do that day. I can't make it." The person next to her immediately nudged me. "You're just someone from the branch office delivering documents. What are you pretending for? We, Evelyn, are Daniel's fiancé. I'm kindly giving you an opportunity. Don't be ungrateful. Stop playing dumb. If it weren't for you secretly using Evelyn's work, how could you possibly pass the interview? I find it quite amusing. I'm the only daughter of Anderson Group. I haven't even graduated from college. My parents handed the company over to me. I'm the chairperson of the headquarters. That's the highest position. What interview do I still need to attend?" Evelyn's provocative expression made me very uncomfortable. She said, "Tomorrow night." "Right, okay, I'll definitely go. Let's congratulate her and Daniel properly." After Evelyn heard this, looks like she's quite happy. She gently pushed her hair back. She sighed and said, "I don't blame you for stealing my work before. After all, you always liked to take my things in high school." Upon hearing this, the people nearby also started whispering. "I've heard about it long ago. She liked to steal other people's partners in college, flirting everywhere. Yeah, she even dared to do things like that, let alone stealing works. Evelyn is really kind. She clearly knows her character is bad, yet she didn't let Daniel suggest to headquarters to fire her." I looked at Evelyn in surprise, thinking about how she loves to fabricate rumors about me in college. I noticed this situation more than once. I even reported it to the school, but the counselor sympathetically said, "Evelyn comes from a single-parent family. Her mother is also in poor health. She may have some issues with her personality." After hearing this, I thought about it. Forget it. I'm well aware of how easily rumors spread, but debunking them requires a lot of effort. I didn't want to waste my energy proving anything. But now, I've realized I was truly wrong. I lifted my head and looked coldly at Evelyn. I retorted at her, "So tell me, what exactly did I steal? Who did I supposedly steal from? Who is it really?" Evelyn was stunned for a second. Then she laughed. "Sophia, I can't even be bothered to care. Why are you even asking this?" She paused for a moment. Her tone became more casual. "To be honest, I should thank you for stealing my work. If it weren't for that, I wouldn't have been transferred to the Springfield branch. And I wouldn't have met Daniel. You have no idea how good he is to me." I laughed out of anger. I said slowly, "Just because the general manager of a small company took notice of me. You've become overly proud." "Sophia," she frowned. She asked loudly, "What do you mean by that? How can you talk to me like that?" I hadn't even had a chance to speak. Suddenly, someone behind me pushed me hard. "Sophia." I turned around. I saw my college roommate Olivia standing behind me. We were close. I knew very well that what Evelyn said wasn't true. I thought she would remember how I helped her pay for tuition. "Please help me say a few words." But to my surprise, she stood beside Evelyn with a flattering expression. "Say it. You still don't know Daniel is about to be promoted to vice president at headquarters. Evelyn will soon be the president's wife." "Sophia, why are you still pretending to be so high and mighty?" I looked at her in surprise. "What did you say?" Olivia stood in front of Evelyn, pointing at me. She said, "Stop pretending to be so high and mighty here. How many boyfriends did you steal from others in college? Don't you realize it yourself? I can't watch this any longer. Today, I'm going to prove it for Evelyn. You always disregard others' feelings and steal their partners." My head is buzzing. Just because Evelyn is going to marry Daniel. She is so eager to please. Evelyn looked at me standing still. She curled her lips and pretended to be magnanimous. "Olivia, forget it. We are all classmates. Don't make things too awkward." She kicked the trash at her feet. "Say it. It's nothing now. You can go first. By the way, help me take out the trash." I laughed out of anger. I was about to retort. Olivia gave me a disdainful glance. Evelyn, don't be angry. Daniel asked me to take you to try on the dress for tomorrow night. He even said you could choose whatever you like. He said this is the first time he's bringing a family member to an event. The headquarters will cover the expenses. I disdainfully thought to myself, reimbursement? I'm not signing. Let's see who can reimburse you. When Evelyn heard this, a joyful expression immediately appeared on her face. She deliberately bumped my shoulder. She raised her head and said, "Go get to work. Don't stand here and make a fool of yourself." She left. I didn't stay any longer either. I just tore up Daniel's appointment letter for the upcoming promotion to vice president at headquarters. I had just walked out of the company gate when Daniel's call came in. "Sophia, why didn't you let me know in advance that you were coming to the Springfield branch so I could pick you up?" I looked at Evelyn's figure in the distance and smiled as I said, "No need to bother. The company's staff has already taken care of me," Daniel said apologetically. "If I had known you were coming today, I wouldn't have gone out to meet clients. By the way, Sophia, you still have to host the headquarters dinner tomorrow night. Don't overexert yourself. Just let the people below prepare whatever is needed." On the phone, Daniel is particularly respectful to me. His attitude is exceptionally good. If he knew his fiancée was wronging me like this, I wonder what he would think. But right now, I'm too preoccupied to care about these trivial matters. Tomorrow, the group headquarters will hold a 50th anniversary celebration banquet. This is my first time appearing publicly as the chairman. My parents specifically rushed back to attend. Many important figures from the business community will also be there. I need to prepare seriously. That night, I helped set up the venue at the hotel. I was busy until after 3 in the morning before finishing. I was really exhausted, so I didn't go home. I just booked a room at the hotel to sleep. The next morning, I wanted to go to the lobby for breakfast and take a look at the banquet preparations. But as soon as I stepped out of the elevator, I ran into Evelyn. She was wearing a deep blue velvet dress. She wears a matching sapphire necklace around her neck. It looks very valuable. Olivia is walking behind. She said with a face full of envy, "The headquarters must value Daniel greatly. Such an expensive outfit was reimbursed without question." Evelyn smiled proudly. "Of course. He's about to be promoted to vice president at headquarters. This amount of money will definitely be covered by headquarters." After saying that, she saw me. Her expression suddenly darkened. "Sophia, your application hasn't been approved yet. Why did you come here first?" She saw I was still wearing the hotel pajamas. She got angry. "HMPH. I understand now. You couldn't secure a spot, so you found a man to help you, right? I've booked the entire hotel for today. There's still an afternoon left before the banquet. There aren't many people in the hotel right now." When she shouted this, everyone in the lobby heard it. I quickly called out to her, "You know what day it is today? Stop talking nonsense. Be careful, or I'll throw you out." She was momentarily stunned. She coldly laughed while pointing at her own nose. "Let me go. How ridiculous. I'm Daniel's fiancée. Who do you think you are, just because today's guests are all distinguished? You want to take advantage of this opportunity, don't you?" I hadn't had a chance to respond. She suddenly rushed over. She grabbed my hair. She shouted loudly, "How could there be someone like you in the company?" Olivia stood behind her, as if she suddenly remembered something. She pointed at me and said, "Last night, Daniel accompanied Evelyn to choose a dress. Later, I heard they went to a hotel. You tell me, are you looking for Daniel again?" She said this while trying to pull me. During the scuffle, my room card fell to the ground. Evelyn quickly picked it up, her eyes filled with anger and jealousy. "They really came here to book a room. Let's go. Let's go up and take a look." Olivia paused for a moment. She asked, "If it really is Daniel," Evelyn kicked me angrily. "He's been in the business world for so long. Hasn't he met plenty of women? In the end, they always come back to me. If it really is him, then it's also Sophia's fault." She glared at me fiercely again. "If it weren't for him, I must find out which leader has such audacity, breaking the rules and still getting a spot. I am Daniel's fiancée. We should help the headquarters deal with such rule breakers." After she finished speaking, she grabbed my arm and headed for the elevator. My hair was pulled painfully. I hurriedly shouted to the staff in the lobby, "Call the police quickly." As soon as she finished speaking, she raised her hand and slapped me. My face stung painfully. My ears were buzzing. She stared at the staff expressionlessly. "Speak word for word. I am the fiancée of the vice president of the organizing committee for this event. This is our company's own matter. Don't call the police. If you call the police, Our company will never do business with your hotel again." The several staff members exchanged glances. They awkwardly hung up the phone. No one dared to move. Evelyn gave a cold smile. She shot a glance at me. "If the chairman of headquarters finds out tonight, I will help the company root out a rule breaker. He would definitely be very pleased." I gritted my teeth hard. I suddenly shook off her hand. "What chairman?" "I am." She was taken aback for a moment. Then she forcefully pushed me into the corner of the elevator. My back hit painfully against the wall. She bent down, angrily said, "You dare pretend to be the chairman. Do you think I would be easily deceived? I warn you. Today I must teach you a harsh lesson." She didn't let me speak anymore. She directly dragged me into the room. As soon as we entered the room, she quickly scanned the room. She found that Daniel was not there. She immediately relaxed. She forcefully pushed me down to the ground. She questioned me. "Where is that man hiding? Get him out here quickly. Let my fiancé know. He will definitely get a good lesson." Evelyn suddenly stared at my bag. She dumped everything from the bag out. Out fell the pair of gemstone cufflinks worth $1 million that I prepared to give to my dad during the thank you segment tonight. Evelyn picked them up and looked at them. Then she forcefully stepped on them. "All right, now the evidence is undeniable. I caught you flirting with someone else. Still want to deny it, huh, since you're so lonely? Then I'll keep you company. Hurry, take off her clothes. Let her perform on stage tonight. I want to make her lose face in front of the company." I haven't reacted yet. They wrapped me up completely in the bed sheets. Then they grabbed a chair from the room and threw it at me. As the chair fell, I felt like my bones were about to break. I let out a groan from the pain. A metallic taste of blood filled my mouth. The bed sheets were tightly wrapped around me. I couldn't move at all. Through the bed sheets, I shouted with all my strength, "You know what the consequences of this will be." Evelyn was momentarily stunned. She swung the chair and brought it down again. This time, I clearly felt my shin bone break. The pain was so intense I couldn't make a sound. I could only curl up on the ground and tremble. She shouted hysterically, "Get off the stage. I am Daniel's fiancé. What consequences could I possibly have? You should take care of yourself first." Slowly, I'm feeling more and more confused. My mind is completely blank in a daze. Someone is pulling me hard. They forcefully stuffed me into a small box. I heard Evelyn mumbling softly, someone delivering documents. How dare they challenge me? When I woke up, it was completely dark around me. I could vaguely hear the host's voice outside. "Now, please welcome the chairman to the stage." They called several times. The audience is still noisy. Someone is whispering. "The chairman is never late at headquarters." "What's going on today, Strange? We saw her last night. How did she suddenly disappear?" I struggled to move, but my limbs felt as heavy as if they were filled with lead. I couldn't even lift a finger. Suddenly, Evelyn's voice came from outside the box. "Wait a minute. Before the chairman comes on stage, I would like to take a moment of your time." Daniel became anxious as soon as he heard. He asked nervously, "Evelyn, what's wrong with you? Don't worry, take your time to speak. Has someone been bullying you?" Evelyn said through her tears, "There's a female colleague in our company with improper conduct. She specifically targets married male colleagues. This morning, I saw her check into a room at this hotel. What do you think? How can she be so reckless with the company?" Today, all the heads of the branches were present. I was about to ask everyone for their opinions. The noise from the audience grew louder. Daniel shouted loudly, "This is outrageous. Who is it?" As soon as the words were spoken, the box was suddenly thrown open. A blinding light made it hard for me to open my eyes. I was naked. My body was covered in wounds. I was pushed outside by Evelyn. She pretended to cry and shouted, "It's her." The atmosphere around suddenly exploded. I gritted my teeth and raised my head. I saw Daniel suddenly weaken at the knees. He fell to his knees in front of me. His voice trembled. "Sophia, who did this to you?" When the people below saw me, they immediately fell silent. Some rushed to close the banquet hall doors. They chased all the waitstaff out. Evelyn was momentarily stunned. She countered, "What did you just call her?" "Sophia is my classmate. I know her situation better than anyone. She always wore torn clothes in school. She even had an unpleasant smell. Maybe her family conditions weren't good. Not only did she like to steal, but she also enjoyed doing bad things behind people's backs. People like her are unfit to be leaders." She snorted and said, "Fortunately, only our people know about today's incident. Otherwise, the group's reputation would be damaged." She kicked me hard in the waist. Then she stepped on my back. The pain made me grit my teeth and groan softly. She sneered as she spoke. "How could you do such a thing in the company? You think you're something special." Then she ordered, Quickly bow and apologize to the leaders below. Hurry up and go. I forced myself to lift my head. I saw my parents sitting on the stage. They stared for a while before recognizing me, suddenly stood up, shaking badly. This is too much. Evelyn thought someone was supporting her. The smugness on her face was even more obvious. I was gasping for breath. I weakly looked at Daniel. Daniel, this is the fiancé you are introducing to everyone tonight. Daniel turned pale with fright. His legs went weak. With a thud, he knelt down even harder. He said with a choked voice, I was wrong, I didn't know, before he could finish speaking. Evelyn suddenly grabbed him. She said softly, Daniel, don't be too hard on yourself. She wasn't even in our department. It's normal that you don't know. Her subordinates quickly chimed in. Exactly. Now this parasite in the company has been caught by Evelyn. She is your fiancée. If the chairman knew about this, he would definitely reward you. Not long after, a few medical staff hurriedly pushed the door open. The people below shouted anxiously, Hurry, come over quickly. Go up and take a look. Evelyn looked at me with a smug expression. Did you see that? I just accidentally hurt my finger while hitting you, and they got this tense. That's right. My fiancé will be the vice president at headquarters in the future. You can't compare at all. The medical staff quickly ran up on stage. She arrogantly extended her hand and said, Be gentle, please. If you hurt my fiancé, I'll be heartbroken. The medical staff were taken aback. They hadn't spoken yet. Daniel suddenly rushed over and pushed her forcefully. He shouted loudly, Get out of the way quickly. Evelyn was stunned. She stood frozen in place. Daniel, the medical staff, squatted down, put a coat on me. After a quick examination, he frowned and said, The calf is fractured. There are multiple injuries on the body. We need to get to the hospital quickly. Evelyn came to her senses. She tugged at Daniel's arm and said softly, Daniel, I was just a bit anxious. I wanted to help the company get rid of the bad apples. I didn't really want to be that harsh. It's all her own doing. She hadn't finished speaking. Daniel suddenly raised his hand and slapped her. What bad apples? I think you're the pest in the company. He still felt unsatisfied after saying that. Then he kicked her in the abdomen. You have caused me great suffering. I'm not going to marry anymore. Evelyn held her stomach. She shook her head in panic. Daniel, could it be that Sophia is really with you? How could she do this? Daniel's eyes turned red with anger. He charged forward and pinned her down. He slapped her face again and again. Stop talking. Shut up. The people below finally came to their senses. They surrounded her and pointed at Evelyn, questioning her. You are from the Springfield branch. Who invited you here? If anything happens to our chairman, we will never let you go. Evelyn was instantly stunned. She stared at me with wide eyes. Her voice trembled slightly. What did you say, chairman? I looked at her expressionlessly. I forced a smile. Evelyn, don't you want me to kneel down for you? There's still time for that. Her face suddenly turned pale. No, that won't happen. You're just a document courier. How could you really be the chairman? The parents in the audience hurriedly ran up to the stage. Mom tightly hugged me. Teardrops kept flowing down. Sophia, how did you become like this? Dad was so angry he was gasping for breath. He pointed at Evelyn and shouted, You really have some nerve. How dare you lay a hand on my daughter? This group was founded by my parents when they were young. At that time, they were busy with their careers. They never had time to have children. Later, the group went public and became one of the top 5 in the country. Only then did they feel they could relax. That's when they decided to have a child. So they had me when they were older. Because of this, they particularly pampered me. They also place great importance on my education. Since I was young, they've made me learn various business knowledge. I haven't even graduated from college yet. They entrusted the management of the group to me. Seeing me injured like this, he was obviously very angry. My dad said to the people below the stage with a stern face, The banquet tonight is canceled. We'll talk after the chairman wakes up. I was hurriedly lifted onto a stretcher and sent to the hospital. In a daze, I could only hear my parents' angry shouts and Daniel's anxious explanations. When I woke up, I saw my worried parents standing in the hospital room, and Daniel, kneeling on the ground, admitting his mistakes. As soon as he saw that I was awake, he immediately knelt down and bowed his head. He said, Sophia, I have already broken up with Evelyn. She hurt you. I will never let her off easily. I really didn't participate in this matter. Sophia, just as I was about to speak, my mom quickly stepped forward. She pointed at him and questioned, It has nothing to do with you. She was so angry that her hands shook. If it weren't for you flaunting your position as the general manager, she is just an ordinary employee. She's not even your legally wedded wife. How dare she be so arrogant? You can't even control your subordinates. You might as well not sit in that general manager position. My mom suddenly kicked Daniel on the shoulder. He immediately fell to the ground. His lips trembled and he didn't dare to speak. He just kept bowing to me. His forehead was red from bowing. I thought he was too noisy. I frowned and had someone drag him away. After he left, my dad said with a gloomy face, "I have already called the police. Fortunately, there are security cameras in the hotel corridor. Evelyn and her group have already been arrested. They are currently only detained. Once we formally file charges, she will have to go to prison." I stayed in the hospital for a week. It happened to coincide with the Memorial Day holiday. I logged into the company system. It turns out Daniel actually reimbursed the money for the dress he bought for Evelyn. In the past, that would have been unacceptable. The company probably approved it because of his good work performance. He knows I was injured by Evelyn and still dares to do this. I immediately clicked to reject it. After being discharged from the hospital, I thought about it for a while, but I decided to return to the Springfield branch with my not fully healed leg. I prepared to investigate Daniel thoroughly. After all, he had previously reimbursed over $30,000 for a designer evening gown for Evelyn. He must have taken advantage of the company quite a bit usually. I had just walked in and happened to see him standing in the lobby. As soon as he saw me, he immediately lowered his head and approached me. He said, "Sophia, I know I've caused trouble for the company recently. I feel really guilty about it, so I don't plan to go home during the holiday. I voluntarily stayed to work overtime at the company." I ignored him. I walked into the office by myself. It was better not to check. But upon inspection, I discovered Daniel's reimbursement forms, no matter the number of times or the amount. It's quite surprising. He secretly used the company's money for himself, but these matters can only be clarified after the finance department returns from the holiday. On my way home, I passed by a store I often visit. I wanted to buy a dress for my mom. To cheer her up, from far away, I heard Evelyn's sharp voice. She was having a heated argument with the store manager. This dress costs over $30,000. It was clearly stated that there is a 7-day no-reason return policy. "Why won't you let me return it?" The store manager showed a troubled expression. He quickly tried to explain. "There are blood stains and dirt on the clothing. According to the rules, it cannot be returned. Since you signed the receipt, we have to follow the rules. We really can't give you a refund." Evelyn was very angry. "Don't you know what these blood stains are about? I want to return it." The store manager saw me standing at the door. He immediately greeted me with a smile. "Sophia, you're here. You still want to order the dress?" Evelyn was taken aback for a moment. She turned her head and saw me. She speaks in a strange tone. "It's all her fault, isn't it? She originally promised to reimburse my fiancé, but in the end, she went back on her word. I find it very ridiculous." I pointed to my leg and asked her, "You hurt me like this, and you still want me to pay you? Is it you who has a problem, or is it me?" Not only does she not think she's wrong, she is even angrier. She pointed at me and shouted. She deliberately dirtied the dress. The dirt and blood stains on it were done on purpose. She just doesn't want me to return it. She needs to compensate me. The store manager frowned and interrupted her. "Sophia never returns or exchanges dresses. She is an important client of ours. After she wears it, it either gets sold at a discount or donated directly. The clothes are kept in great condition. I believe she wouldn't do something like that." Evelyn's face turned pale with anger. "It's really ridiculous. Such a petty company. It's only a matter of time before the door closes for good." I leaned against the door frame, smiling lazily. "Go ahead. The company won't reimburse you, so you come to me for a refund. You're really something." She glared with wide eyes. She raised her hand to hit me. I quickly grabbed her wrist, coldly said, "Last time you got to hit me. This time you still want to make a move. I'm not going to let you succeed again." I gave a hard shake. She stumbled a couple of steps, almost fell down. I said, "Since we ran into each other, just a reminder, get ready to go to jail." But unexpectedly, she wasn't flustered at all. Instead, she covered her reddened wrist. A strange smile appeared at the corner of her mouth. She said coldly, "HMPH, we'll see about that." That night, as soon as I opened my phone, I was flooded with various notification messages. I clicked in and found out. The top trending topic on Weibo clearly stated, a senior executive from a certain company secretly met with subordinates during the Memorial Day holiday. This might have affected other people's families. The picture clearly shows me and Daniel together in the lobby, but the angle of the shot is quite strange. It makes it seem like we deliberately arranged to meet. I immediately realized, this must be Evelyn's doing. I really didn't expect that. She has already been detained and is still able to stir things up. She insists on using this distorted photo to tarnish my name. I suppressed my anger. I immediately contacted the PR team. We must remove the trending topic today. Not a single one can be left. After hanging up, I called the legal team right away. Add another charge of defamation against Evelyn. Get the materials organized tonight. I want her to pay the price. I had just hung up the phone. Daniel's call came in immediately. Her voice was a bit trembling. Sophia, I just saw the trending topic. That thing was really not done by me. I broke up with Evelyn a long time ago. She is framing me. I'll find out who did it right away. If needed, I will definitely cooperate with you fully. Hang up the phone. I'm a bit confused. When I left the company, Evelyn was still arguing with the store manager at the affordable luxury store. At that moment, I suddenly thought of someone. Could it be Olivia? The next morning, the PR team had a hard time calming the public opinion a bit, but I suddenly received a text message. It was sent by Evelyn. Her words were clearly provocative. You caused me and Daniel to end up like this. Do you regret it now? I scoffed and threw my phone on the table. I tapped my fingers on the table. Just say it. What else did Evelyn make you do? Olivia glanced at me, no longer hiding it. Evelyn gave me a bunch of money. Let me take that photo. She said she hasn't broken up with Daniel. She'll help me after she marries someone high up. I'm sitting on the chair. I feel a tightness in my chest. It's especially uncomfortable. The old Olivia was very innocent. I remember her coming to me in her freshman year to borrow notes while holding books. But now she stands here, with a cold expression. She looks nothing like the person I used to know. Thinking about this, I can't help but ask her, Olivia, why are you treating me like this? She gave a cold smile, suddenly raised her voice. What have I done to you when you stole my paper in college? Did you ever consider my feelings? My heart tightened. I felt a chill rise from my feet to the top of my head. I firmly denied it. I didn't do that. You're still trying to deny it. Her face turned bright red, her finger almost pointing at my face. I saw my thesis on your computer with my own eyes. But the authorship was changed to yours. If it weren't for you helping me pay the tuition, this matter has long been widely discussed. Her eyes were red. She was staring at me fiercely. You should be thanking me instead. I've never told anyone. We settled our debts a long time ago. I was momentarily stunned, then suddenly thought of something. This must be Evelyn pulling strings behind the scenes. Without saying a word, I grabbed my bag and dragged her back to our alma mater. Relying on the cooperation between the company and the school, I quickly found the head of the archives. I obtained the thesis materials from that year. Minutes later, the head printed out 2 copies of the electronic thesis and gave them to me and Olivia. I glanced at my thesis. The title, content, and authorship were exactly the same as what I wrote before, but the thesis submitted by Evelyn was word-for-word identical to Olivia's. Olivia was holding 2 copies of the thesis. The whole person was stunned. She stood frozen in place. Tears streamed down unknowingly. Me. How could it be Evelyn, after a long while? Olivia finally raised her head. With red eyes, she said to me, I can testify in court. That photo was taken by me secretly. I can also prove that Evelyn had people attack you before. That night, Olivia took her ID and publicly clarified things for me online. She not only revealed the chat records when Evelyn instructed her, but also released the complete video of me and Daniel in the lobby. The video clearly shows I only chatted briefly with Daniel. After the incident, Olivia also submitted her resignation as soon as the holiday ended. I immediately called a meeting with the finance team of the Springfield branch. After a whole day of verification, Daniel's violations were recorded one by one, primarily embezzlement of company funds and falsifying accounts. I immediately decided to fire him and let the legal department handle the subsequent legal issues. Daniel panicked when he found out. He ran to my office and knelt down to beg for mercy, but he was stopped by security. His loud cries echoed through the corridor. Colleagues around secretly laughed and discussed. I wanted to say this for a long time. He has always pampered Evelyn, acting arrogantly in the company. Now, he is truly reaping what he has sown. I really didn't expect him to go this far. He even dared to use company funds to reimburse the costs of going to a hotel with Evelyn. Do you remember? That day, Evelyn even had the chairman help her throw out the trash. He really walked into a trap. Yeah, I heard they had dinner that night. She even got into a fight with the chairman. Evelyn has now also become someone everyone dislikes. They are truly a perfect match. Hearing this, I felt particularly happy inside. They are not wrong. This is all caused by themselves. Besides, Olivia's testimony has brought new developments to Evelyn's case against me. The police have called Evelyn in for questioning. She is sitting in the interrogation room, with her legs crossed. She is nonchalantly denying everything. She claims that Olivia is framing her. The police showed her the chat logs and videos provided by Olivia. She still refuses to admit it. She insists they are fake. The police had no choice but to let her go for now, until the verdict is handed down. Then she won't be able to argue her way out. That night, Olivia texted me. She said she had important evidence to give me in person. She arranged to meet me. I didn't hesitate. I went straight to the meeting place. But when I got to the entrance, I realized this place was an abandoned construction site. I just started to feel that something was off. Suddenly, someone covered my mouth from behind. I was dragged directly into the construction site. Before I could figure out what was happening, I felt a sharp pain at the back of my head. Then everything went black. The whole person fell heavily to the ground. I woke up in a daze. I found myself tied to a chair. Evelyn stood in front of me. She looked down at me, with a strange smile on her face. She said angrily, "You ruined everything for me. I will make you pay for it." I struggled hard for a moment. Enduring the headache, I said to her, "Evelyn, what you're doing is illegal. It's against the law." Evelyn suddenly laughed. "You're the one who forced me first. You're the one who ruined everything for me first." After she finished laughing, her expression suddenly changed. Several burly men walked in from outside. "Take good care of her. If it's done, each person gets 50,000. She can't even afford a dress that costs 30,000. How could there be 50,000? I quickly shouted at those men. "Don't believe her. She doesn't have any money at all. Quick, help me call the police. I will definitely repay you well." Evelyn's expression suddenly changed. She quickly pulled out a stack of money from her pocket. The money scattered all over the floor with a clatter. "Who says I don't have money? I have plenty of money." The men stared at the bills on the ground. Their eyes lit up. They immediately surrounded me. They pressed down on me forcefully. They showed malicious expressions. "What do you want to do with her?" Evelyn raised her head. "Do as you please." Upon hearing this, they immediately lunged at me, tearing at my clothes. I was tied up and couldn't move. There was no way to resist at all. At this critical moment, a group of uniformed police officers suddenly burst in through the door. They surrounded both Evelyn and the men. Olivia rushed in, out of breath. She pointed at Evelyn and shouted, "It's her. She stole my phone. Send a message to Sophia in my name. Trick her into coming." She looked at me nervously. "Are you okay? Good thing my phone can locate you. I'll be there soon." Evelyn looked at her in surprise. "Olivia, are you crazy, stabbing me in the back? She stole your thesis." Just said that. Olivia slapped her across the face. "Stop talking. Original text revised. I knew it a long time ago. The one who stole my thesis is you." Soon the police handcuffed Evelyn and those men. Daniel also arrived. He pointed at Evelyn and said angrily, "Are you crazy? You stole the money from my safe." The two of them got into a fight. The scene was in chaos. Suddenly, Evelyn accidentally fell down. A rebar sticking out pierced her abdomen. She screamed in pain. Daniel was stunned on the spot. He stood there motionless, still gripping Evelyn's hair in his hand. The police rushed over to restrain Daniel, but Evelyn had already stopped breathing. Evelyn and Daniel, one has passed away, one has gone to prison. The matter has finally come to an end. Days later, the group held a celebration for its 50th anniversary. I stood on the stage. Warm applause erupted from the audience, as if nothing had happened before.